Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your free daily guide for inner child healing and repairing the relationship with yourself. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading, followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful binaural beats meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you can join us today on this journey of healing, self-expansion, and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. As a celebration of recently passing episode 500, I've opened up a free membership tier for our Patreon community. And this is so that you can access additional resources as well as join our weekly Zoom support calls for free. I understand that there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I know that so many people are really struggling. And so my hope with this is to encourage others to take up the serious work of reparenting and to offer a free community where people can do that. I'd also like to thank everyone who's been along for the journey so far. We've passed episode 550 and continuing beyond. And so this is just a reminder to you all that this is a free podcast, but if you'd like to support the project, you can purchase the Reparenting Daily Journal where you can follow us along all year. This 333-page journal gives you extra insight and resources for each week and also provides space for you to keep your notes. Another way to support the podcast is to purchase the Fairy Tales for Reparenting series, volumes 1 through 3. This collection organizes famous and obscure fairy tales from around the world into 3 phases of the hero's journey, from beginning, middle to end. While you may think that fairy tales are for kids, I'd like to challenge you. These stories contain profound truths and lessons carried down over centuries that we can use in our own reparenting journeys. It's a fun way to reconnect with your inner child. Each volume comprises 10 fairy tales. Each volume also contains an analysis section that helps you dive deeper into the message, as well as journal prompts with space for you to keep your notes. Lastly, you can also support this podcast by taking a paid Patreon subscription, by purchasing some of the books that are available on Amazon, or by donating on Buy Me a Coffee. You can find all this information on the Support Us section on the website. Thank you again for your time. And so now with these announcements out of the way, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is an article entitled Celebrating Progress Every Day by G. Anthony. You can find the link in the show notes as always. Just as a reminder, we are in December, and the theme for this month is reflecting and setting intentions. We're in week 2, and the theme for week 2 is celebrating your achievements. The power of small wins, celebrating progress every day. In a world that glorifies big milestones, it's easy to overlook the small wins. We're taught to measure success by grand gestures, the promotions, the breakthroughs, the moments that take years of effort. But what about the little things? The quiet victories that often go unnoticed, but are just as vital to our journey. I used to be my own worth critic, brushing off the small wins as insignificant. Finishing a task, getting out of bed on a hard day, or even taking 5 minutes to breathe felt too minor to celebrate. I was so focused on chasing the horizon that I forgot to look at the ground beneath my feet. But those small wins, they're what keep us moving forward. A small win is a promise to yourself that you're trying even when it's hard. It's choosing to take the next step, no matter how small, instead of standing still. The first poem I ever wrote wasn't perfect, but it wasn't a win because it was the start of something. That single act of putting words on a page built momentum, leading to the collection I hold in my hands today. None of it would exist without small, seemingly unimportant beginning. I've learned to honor the small wins because they remind me that progress isn't always loud. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's as quiet as showing up when you don't feel like it, or simple as saying, I'll try again tomorrow. Take a moment and reflect on your own small wins. Did you drink enough water today? Did you smile at someone? Did you take a deep breath even when everything felt overwhelming? These might not make the headlines, but they matter. They add up. They're the stepping stones that lead to the bigger moments. When we allow ourselves to celebrate the small wins, we shift our perspective. We begin to see that success isn't just the end goal, it's the journey. And when the journey feels long, these small wins are the fuel that keeps us going. So here's to the little things, the quiet victories, the first steps, and the progress that no one else might see. They're worth celebrating, and so are you. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. Today's reading dives straight into a truth that most people miss their entire lives. Small wins are the real architecture of success. We grow up believing that only the massive milestone matters, promotions, breakthroughs, published books, but the author dismantles that illusion. He explains how real progress is forged quietly, in the early attempts, the imperfect first steps, and the moments when you choose to keep going, even though no one is watching. In his story about writing his first poem, makes the message hit harder. What felt tiny at the time eventually created something much larger. Not only because the honored, Jesus Christ, guys, I'm having a difficult time singing today, so apologies for that. But only because he honored the beginning instead of the second. The reading also exposes how easily we diminish our daily victories. People often bulldoze past their small wins because they don't look important or glamorous, but in reality, showing up on a hard day, choosing kindness, drinking water, breathing deeply, writing one sentence, these are victories that shape identity. Celebrating these moments shifts the mind from self-criticism to self-recognition. And that shift fuels momentum. Instead of seeing progress only in massive leaps, we begin to notice the hundreds of quiet steps that make those leaps possible. Ultimately, the message is simple and powerful. Success is not a destination. It's the accumulation of tiny, consistent acts of courage. Celebrating those acts rewires the way we see ourselves and transforms the journey from exhausting to inspiring. When you honor your small wins, you stop chasing worthiness at the finish line and start embodying it every day. In that shift, you discover a deeper truth. The little things aren't little. They're everything. As we go into the journal prompts today, number 1, what were 3 small wins from the last 24 hours that you normally would have dismissed, but that actually show real progress towards your effort? That show real progress or effort on your part. Number 2, which quiet victory in your life, past or recent, ended up becoming more meaningful than you expected once you looked back on it? And number 3, how would your life change if you decided, starting today, to treat every small act of effort as evidence of growth rather than something too minor to matter? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment. you.